reiterate the learning design solution that I've created for our teachers here at South Atlanta. All right. So for my presentation, my targeted audience includes high school teachers who are responsible for delivering instruction and analyzing student performance data. Our educators here work with one-to-one Chromebook environment and regularly use digital tools such as Google Classroom and various assessment platforms to support instruction. However, what we know and what my data has found through several surveys, teacher conversations, is that all of our teachers are at a different level of understanding digital platforms and educational technology, especially the use of their tools. So in my presentation, I have identified what those teachers look like. So if you are a beginner, it says you are a beginner user. So you still need support navigating different assessment platforms and understanding basic data reporting. Then we have our next level, which is our developing users. These teachers are the ones who can access data but need guidance in identifying the trends and instructional next steps. So looking at the data and being able to say, hey, what do I do with this? How do I form different groups? And lastly, our teachers are our advanced group who are comfortable with platforms but seek more efficient strategies to analyze the data and apply it in real time. So though we have teachers who have the eagerness to want to be better, we got to identify how can we use equity to give them what they need. All right. So what I have came up with is this learning design solution. So within my solution, I use this flow chart to show you like what our beginning stages will look like and then the different steps and processes that we're going to get to meet our end goal. Okay. Do you have any questions so far?
Sure. What challenges do you think you will face?
So far, some challenges would be like making sure I can find available space so that we can professionally develop these skills that we're working on. Having teachers have the time because the schedules right now we're in testing season, so everybody's everywhere right now. I think those would be some real challenges because those are some of the challenges I face even trying to get the surveys done because even once we got the links out, so some people wanted to do it efficiently, so they wanted to take their time with it and really look at those questions and analyze them. So I really think in finding a space and finding time will be some of the beginning challenges that I will have. I'm trying to get this off the ground. Because we've already, like, step one is identifying your teachers. We used the surveys in the past to identify, well, where do teachers think they are? All right, am I beginning? Am I developing? Am I advanced? All right, and then we analyze that teacher data. So that portion has basically been done already by me. And then we group them into the beginning, developing, and advanced, kind of like what we do with the students when we're making our heterogeneous versus homogeneous grouping. And then we look at some of the common challenges that they have. So what my data has showed is that common challenges include interpreting student performance, identifying learning gaps, and making timely decisions on where that student should be moved to, like what pathway will best benefit the students. Next, one thing I want to do specifically when teachers are PD sessions, we want to get that into practice because the more they know, the more they can show for the students. Tech integration strategies. So I would want to meet with the leadership team to look at some different strategies we could roll out to our teachers to get them a little bit more comfortable using the tech. Data analysis protocol. So I think that just generally means that we are all using one type of rubric when we're looking at that data. Like, what does this data yield? And lastly, instructional decision-making framework. So that is kind of how we have our data page set up. So how we have to turn in data every Tuesday, and we have that data form where we all have to put in what's the gap question, what is the misconception. So we already have a lot of these things in practice. So it's not like we're reinventing the wheel, but we're just being more intentional on how we use this stuff. All right. What I foresee for us. A 4-week professional learning cycle, and what that looks like in week 1 is when we do our platform training. We're getting back to the basics. This is how you navigate Google Forms. This is how you navigate Google Classroom and pull your data. Week 2 will be data analysis and identifying trends. So now that we have teachers being able to pull data, what does this data mean? Is this a commonly missed question? Is this something that we need to look back at? Week 3 says instructional adjustments and using data. So for the instructional adjustments, that means you allow the data to tell you, hey, this is where I need to go with the kids. And then week 4 is real-time application and coaching support. So we're actually putting this stuff into effect, and then we're monitoring it. So coaching support to me means that I'm showing up as an instructional coach. I'm helping my teachers figure out the best practices for their student group. Do you have any other questions?
How are you going to get the teachers to buy in?
Good question, Mr. Darden. Teacher buy-in. My first instinct is food, because who don't want a free snack? You know what I'm saying? So if I could plan the PDs maybe around their lunches or that breakfast time, I could probably get more teachers to buy in. Definitely PD points. So that's why I wanted to work with the leadership team to see if we could come up with ways to incentivize our teachers. And I think just having a really good model for them. I don't want to keep hitting teachers over the head with a new rollout, a new this, a new that. I think if I really frame it in a way, it's like we're using what you guys already do. We're just being more intentional, and we just want to have a bit more of a technical integration. I don't think teachers would give me a lot of pushback on it, especially if we could show them the modeling of it. This is why it works. This is how it works. And all we just want you to do is try. Like, I think that may work. What do you think?
Oh, I don't think it would work. It's just a point on, just like I said, getting them to buy in. The food would be a good choice.
Okay.
In the fact that, of course, everybody likes to eat, but another good thing would be to incentivize them, which could be, I would say give them a stipend.
Okay.
So say, for instance, if you want to do it after school, and the administration add on a stipend too.
Okay.
That would also help with the teacher buying.
With teacher buying PD, maybe gas cards or something like that, because you guys got to go home. Okay. I like that. The plan concludes with us evaluating outcomes. So essentially, we want to make sure that we are doing our due diligence, that these platforms are best appropriate for our students, our school, and how we want to render our data. So I can't wait to get started with this. I think that the goals that are set are realistic. It says that our results should yield 90% use of assessment platforms effectively, because we are about at 90% right now, but we're just missing the effective part. Because a lot of times that we're just putting the kids on the computer, hoping that they can navigate it on their own, and then we just pull the data on the back end. Student outcomes, we want to see at least 70% of students demonstrate measurable improvements on formative assessments. So because if they know how to navigate their tech better, then they can perform better. They have more practice with it and things of that nature. So I'm just really excited to get started and see how well our students do with our new expectations.
So my last question will be, what can I do to support you?
Honestly, I think that if teachers see our leadership team being hands-on with us, I think that will kind of give them a little bit more of a buy-in and more reassurance, like, hey, we're all in this together. We got all hands on deck. So if you would make it a point to be in some of my PD sessions that I'm trying to run with the science and math department, just not as a support, but maybe even help me facilitate maybe a small group, because they could just see all hands being on deck. I think teachers will really respond well to that.